Here at Denver 7, we are committed to bringing you the most up-to-date information on the coronavirus here in Colorado.
And that's why we've been asking for your questions to bring to those directly in charge. And we are very thankful to have Denver Mayor Michael Hancock joining us this morning via video conference. Nice to see your face. Thank you so much for being here.
As always, good to see both of you. Thanks for having me.
So, Mayor, first of all, we have to ask you about that stay-at-home order. Will you be extending it?
You know what? It's still too early to tell. My hope is that people continue to comply, stay at home. The more we comply, the shorter our duration in terms of stay-at-home orders will be, and the safer we'll all be, of course. So it's right now, Molly, it's just too early to tell. My hope is that we'll begin to loosen some things up down in short order. But until, the scientists tell us that the plateauing is occurring and we have a consistent decrease in the number of positive tests and hospitalizations, we can't make that call at this time.
Hopefully we see the numbers continue to trend in the right direction. But along the lines of the stay-at-home order, we took some questions from social media. Bonita wrote to our Facebook page asking, why aren't parks being patrolled? There are too many people without masks who aren't observing any distance at all.
Yeah, parks are being patrolled, actually. We do have park rangers out there. We even have DPD going through the parks as well. We have city employees who are being redeployed to assist in the process. And where we see those inappropriate gatherings occurring, when we are on patrol, we're moving in to warn people and to educate and to warn people to break it up. And so, it is happening, and obviously we can't patrol every inch of the park, but we're doing our very best with the teams that we have out there to patrol. It doesn't, I cannot say this enough, and I know our neighbors are saying it, for folks to be smart and folks who think that it could never happen to them. We are seeing young children all the way up to some of our most senior residents falling ill to this virus and losing their lives. And I mean, people don't realize the more we decide not to follow through with the orders that have been given by scientists and our public health officials and our leadership, the longer we're extending the challenges of these stay-at-home orders and social distancing. We have got to be smart about what we're doing out there.
Mayor, I have to ask a follow-up to that question about the parks, because I saw a lot of people on social media talking about Wash Park specifically and how they really think that it should be closed down. Others say it shouldn't. Do you anticipate closing down parks at all within the city?
We have, Molly, taken the steps to close parks where we cannot get compliance. And I hate to do that because I know how important it is to have our parks open and encourage people to get out and walk and to exercise and to recreate as best they can while maintaining social distancing protocols. But I will not hesitate. If parks and our rangers come in and say, we simply cannot get compliance, we will shut down a park. And that's unfortunate for all residents, but we'll do it. We just did it recently with Civic Center Park, where we had gone in time after time and people just absolutely would not listen to the rangers and to the law enforcement. And so we shut it down. And that's really unfortunate because it really hurts everyone else when we have to do that.
Yeah, absolutely not a decision you want to make. Let's talk about reopening our city. What businesses do you see opening first, and what restrictions will still be in place?
Well, I think we can expect, and I think this is important, that the social distancing protocols will remain in place for quite some time. Even as we begin to phase in our economy in a very methodical and smart and responsible manner. And so we will, I believe, as we work with a team, and I have an internal team, an external group of folks, business leaders, civic leaders, coming together to help discuss this. We'll roll out those industries initially that allow us to begin with the proper social distancing and physical distancing protocols in place, while also at the same time giving our economy some ignition to move forward. And so what does that look like? Who are they at this point in time? I can't say because I don't know. And I'll wait for the advisement of those groups. But I'm going to be talking to restaurant and entertainment venues this week. They have some protocols that they have already begun to design for us, and I'll listen to what they have to say. And then from some of those, based on, some of their ideas, based on what our public health people say, we'll make some good decisions, I hope, for all of us to begin to roll out the industries that make the most sense early on.
And Mayor, we've heard from the White House task force refer to Colorado as a hotbed for the virus at times with the JBS meat plant and the ski resorts. When it comes to reopening the economy, where do you see Denver falling in line with that? I mean, how are we doing compared to other major cities with containing this virus?
Right. I think we were wise to issue our stay-at-home orders at the time that we did. I think we got in right at the proper time to kind of blunt the spread. We've had, any one death is too many, and our hearts go out to the families who have lost individuals. We've had over 350 plus deaths in the state of Colorado, 78 as of yesterday here in Denver. Comparatively, we feel like we got in at the right time, and so if we stay the course, I think that we will come out on this better than a lot of other cities and states that took their time. Our last shouldn't say take the time, but certainly didn't enter into the orders and try to discipline the community in terms of respond appropriately to this at the time. And so, we don't. It's hard to compare. I talked to mayors all the country. I spent about 45 minutes on the phone yesterday with the mayor of Louisville, Kentucky, last night, rather, and we talked about our cities, and we're following pretty much the same track. He has less deaths, but he also doesn't have the density and population that Denver does. But we're actually implementing the same type of remedies. So it's almost, I think we're doing the right things. We just got to remain disciplined, right?
Well, we see the Broncos gear behind you. I think we're all yearning for football season and things to return to some sense of normalcy around here. So thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Hey, as always, look forward to talking to you in a couple of weeks. And thanks again. And please, as much as possible, let's remind our public, stay at home. The longer we can remain disciplined, the shorter we will have our duration of a stay-at-home order and social distancing. It will help all of us in the long run. God bless everyone.
Absolutely. All right. Mayor Michael Hancock, thank you so much for joining us. Nice to see you, even over video.